I think I'm live. Here we are. Just getting all the things I usually do sorted out here. Oh, as you can see, I have been working on my art. I'm looking at some options to see what I can use to print. I really want to print it. Because part of the plan is that I want to have a separate artist presence in the social media for like print selling and all that. I was recently inspired by things. Hey, Void. So I'm a little excited. Just trying to figure things out. Getting all the audio sorted here. Void with coming through with the first. It's been a while since you grabbed your first. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'll be honest, I made a new Blue Sky account for the art specifically, which I'm not going to share. If you find it, naturally you find it, but otherwise I won't make it obvious. Live now. Chilling on this beautiful Friday. Come say hi. Twitch. But yeah. I mean, I still got a lot of work to do in terms of like the games, game development and setting up Steam page and etc. Hey, Osama. Hey, nerdy nerds. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. All right. Look, so mixed feeling here. My final work here is kind of like HD pixel art in that like I use the pixel art as a base, but some of these like bloom effect and lights I'm using at a higher resolution. So it's kind of like when we're making games and you're using lighting effect in the higher resolution. So I don't know how I feel about this. I think I like it. I posted this already, and I wanna look for ways to get this printed. Hold on, I'm gonna update the goal text here. We don't really have a goal today. I think we're just a vibe and chill. I think maybe some art. Look, Devi would be pleased. I wrote a little lore text, which grammatically maybe it's not the best, but let me show you. Let me show you what I wrote. So I have this. This is my first post. Though I'm like, should I get Twitter? Even though I quit. Look, it says, not much of a secret. It says, they are dormant no longer. The great obelisks of the olds are as part of our world as the roots in the ground. To us, they have always simply been, but today we cannot ignore the terrifying question, who woke them? As you can see, the great obelisk that has been part of the nature has activated now. So this is the thing. Now, for those of you who has experience in printing art for Artist Alley, like that's a very specific question. I would love to know what your recommendation is. Though I would think that whenever you print something, they have to probably do it. Nerdy says, "Give link for Signal Boost." Fine, I'll share the link. I don't know if I want to make it so that I just do Blue Sky or Twitter only, which I haven't made Twitter as, or Instagram, or because I don't want to do like TikTok or Instagram because I don't want to have to put extra effort in like making video posts, I guess. So hold on, how do I share this? Link. Yeah, here we go. Signal Boost, if that's a thing. But I'm trying. I'm starting with like proper branding, all the colors and all that. I'll try to make it look professional and all that. As you can see, I updated my logo. A little bit more nature reclaiming happening. The front is now a runic gate. You know, all that. So I'm excited about this. The goal here, I don't know. I have this like vision of like having printable art along with like asset and like mix of like game asset looking thing to almost mimic looking at screenshot of a gameplay sometimes, or like, you know, back in the day when you look at like those games magazine, it shows you like preview or like gameplay of the games in a single page with articles and like quotes and stuff like that. That would be a fun product to make. So, all right, I'm gonna look at this though. Let's see. Yeah, Void's been missing. Debbie's like, "You're back. We were worried." Yeah, we were worried. We were wondering what was happening. Hey, Baka. Debbie says something about me and writing. Lol, I didn't catch it. Was I supposed to critique something? No, it's too late. It's already posted. But I was just saying, you'd be happy to know I'm starting to write some story-esque type of thing for my art here. I am also looking at some options for printing. And at this point, I have no guidance. I'm just like Google searching print company, and then just clicking the first thing and see what they are like. Though back in the day, used to be you have to print a lot at once instead of print on demand, like one at a time. So I don't know if that's still the limit. I'll be interested to see how my art prints when I print it. Though I don't know where the option for that is at all. Marketing, stationery, none of these, right? It's not a sticker. It's not a postcard. Yeah. So this is not where I want to do it. I'm guessing. Illustration. Art illustration, print, digital art. Maybe digital art. Luma print. I mean, it's on the top of the list, so I feel a little bit... How do I turn my digital art into prints, posters? Yeah. I'm going to have to just read a bunch of articles. Debbie says, 20K as? Oh. Oh. Hey, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Wow. It's going to be a disappointing performance, no? I think so. Well, I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can. I'm going to have to come up with lyrics on the spot if I actually make it up. I can show you my old stuff. Old stuff. And then I can sing some other stuff karaoke style. And then take requests based on what you think would sound good or what you love to hear. Am I that good enough to play whatever as soon as there's a request? No, I'm not. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyways, big news. It's not an official announcement, but big news is that I passed all my interview to a company that shall not be named. And so I am officially hired, which means I am going back to the day job, which means I have to figure out streaming schedule. And that's going to be tricky. So I'm going to have to do some general consensus on when people like to watch me in general. Because I know a lot of people do it during the work days in the US. I'm wondering if I do like later hour or too early, if I'm going to actually miss all my usual audience. So Nightbet says, yay, being able to feed yourself. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a yay, but it's also a nay in that, like, man, is yet again, I am having to go face the reality. Tevi says, oh, no. Yeah. It's okay. I have speculative investment that I'm still banking on, but I'm trying not to pull money from that so much. That's why I'm taking the job. So Debbie says, but good job on the getting the bag. Yeah. That's why I'm also urgently starting this art business thing too. Like, I'm trying to just kind of span out everything I can that I enjoy normally, to get to a point of like, okay, well, like next time when I transition out of the job, when that happens, that feels a little bit smoother. Fuki says, 10 minutes late. You are 10 minutes late. It's okay. Well, you are here finally, so it's okay. We're just kind of talking about life in general. But yeah, feedback, anyone? What do you think about my first piece? High contrast, very like stylized pixel art. I wanted to keep it pixelated as much as I can, with a little bit of mixture of like blooming effect from like a high res. Baka says, nice obelisk. Thanks. I appreciate that. Debbie's hubby says, "Oh no, Ez." Yeah, yeah, I know. Reality strikes again, everyone. It's okay. It's okay. I'll be back. I mean, I'm going to be here, but I'll be back even more. I don't know if I should put any kind of signature. I don't have a digital signature for this particular account. Brand I'm calling Ezra's Archive. You want to see my brand sheet? I showed it a little bit last time, but I updated it since then. Here's my brand guide. Yeah, I wanted to do it officially with like real thoughts in the process. Chikome-san says, "Hi, how's gradient on the back made? Is it auto-generated? The dithering, I mean. I can show you a little bit. But yeah, this is my brand guide. This is my logo. I need to make a narrower version. This is very like square because it doesn't fit the banner size too much. But some colors, font along with it. But yeah, I like it. I like the new logo. I like where it ended up being from where it used to be. In terms of dithering, it's a feature on Sprite. It's actually kind of surprising that other softwares don't have this feature as much. So the process was that I did my pixel art on the Sprite first, which is, you know, standard. And dithering is under this right here, bucket tool. If you see me highlight it. So the bucket tool is fill, like it just fills the whole thing. But if you hold down to it, you can see the gradient. So you can do gradient and, you know, you do these things. But also there's a dithering option for different matrix. This is if you want more bending. Oh, that's actually not bad. That's actually kind of dope. Anyways, I'm not going to do it here. Different scales of it. It does get a little tricky and annoying because it only dithers within the space it's highlighted, like within the fill. So for example, like right here, if I want to do gradient through the whole thing, let's say, if it wasn't a base, like when this happens, it just kind of cuts it out like that within the space. This is convenient or inconvenient based on what you're trying to do. Oh, this is pretty cool too. Anyways, but that's the idea. I wonder if I can do that. Anyways, there's something. I like these like edge blending like that. You know how like you can kind of, your brain fills in the gap. You see the line here, and then over here, even though there's no line, you can clearly see that there's a line. I love that like concept of blending into the shadow. Like even this one, right? This creature figure, the shaded area is blending into his shadow, and then from afar, your brain knows what to do with that. Very cool. Very cool. Syracuse says beautiful art. Thank you. I appreciate that. Syracuse? I don't know. Sounds like a Latin name. Syracuse. Maybe it's Syracuse spelled in a weird way. Weird, I mean, relatively speaking, non-American way. Syracuse? I don't know. Hard to tell, hard to tell. Let's see. So Chikome-san asked that gradient dithering, so I answer that. I'm sure other tools have their own way to do dithering that they can handle. Nerdy Nerd says the full lighting hit the obelisk looks quite striking, but maybe gets a little bit lost being the same as the sky. I guess that was very conscious choice. Yeah. I like that kind of like, because in reality, when you do photography, you get these like no boundary, like soft edge. You don't really see the edge because it's like basically the same tone as what it's reflecting, which makes it feel more like blinding. So it was conscientious choice. But you know, it's just is there right or wrong answers to that? I don't know. Baka says, would it be okay to put a rune in teal color, like the dolmen, in the part that should be a door connecting the stone road? Teal color. Rune? You mean right here? Make this part be teal color? Chikome-san said, I think the borderline is called the rim light. Yeah, so you do have the rim light here on the offsite So if it's like a backing light, you get the outer edge, which is considered rim light. This one is just high speculative light, I think. Playful Cheetah says, Xia Meow. Hi, Xia Meow. No, Playful Cheetah, hi. Yeah. Hold on. I want to try to understand what Baka design means. Would it be okay to put a rune in teal color, like the dolmen, in the part that should be a door? We don't have a door here. This is way too big to see the details of the door. I was hoping that the focus is just like general overall construction and the contrast of the nature and the straight edged obelisk. There is an opportunity to put more details, but what I wanted to do, I don't want to get too lost here because I want to zoom in. So this art project is basically, here's an environmental, kind of like when you do camera work for movie filming, you do the scene setting and then you zoom in and then you have something else going on and you zoom in into the character and the actual emotional interaction. So my hope is that this entrance with the like kind of like the illustrative style of like entrance and then the dungeon map, like that's the art. The art is almost practical in that you see the illustration plus the dungeon, you know. Playful Cheetah says it's pronounced chow. Oh, chow. Did I not say that? Chow meow. Ciao. It's an Italian grade. And I've heard that. I think I know that one. I've heard that one. I should have known that. Chikome-san says, I was asking about the gradient because I think your light source is coming from the left top corner. Shadows kind of get casted to the bottom right. Yeah, we got the shadow down here, a little bit of gradient here. I have the reflective green here for that reason to blend into it. It just gives like an interesting color contrast. It's a little confusing because this is a big structure in an open sky. Theoretically speaking, you get a lot of bounce light from the sky all over. So we have a strong light source, but then you will still catch something here. I mean, maybe it's just stylistic choice, you could say. Is it realistic? Maybe not. Maybe not. Playful says, or Serbian, but they write chow with the C apostrophe thing, umlaut. No, accented C. I see. But yeah, I agree, Chikome-san. I'm sure there are a lot of things. I'm trying not to overbake this part too much. Kind of want to do a little test print to see what the print looks like in general. I might even be tempted to do something like this. Oop. You see how limited of pixels we have. Is that too much? Having something like that, is this too much? Now, don't look too much into it, obviously. This could be interesting, but it's like, is it a plane or a bird? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to make it a bird. Obviously, if my kind of simplistic mind could just do one of these, and it'll still read. The problem with this one is that, you know, this type of shape will make it so that it looks like, which I guess could work. Maybe it does work. My initial worry for this shape was that it was going to be like, what do you call? It's gonna look like a seagull which this isn't, right? There wouldn't be a seagull out here, but I suppose that's like not bad. Trying to see compositionally where the best spot for this is. I mean, there are good negative space here. Like, why is this? If this is this big, and this is like basically sky, you would see birds more like over at this level, rather than here. This one should probably end up looking more like a deep sky, right? Or deep space, I mean. So we want to go actually kind of bluer, darker. I might even hit one of these things with a 4-band. Let's do 4-band. I gotta be careful here. What if I hit the radial? Ooh, there could be an interesting thing that could happen here with this. But anyways. Chikuma says, didn't mean it like critique. It's beautiful. Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate it. No, I don't take it as a critique. Even if it was, I wouldn't get offended. Okay. And also, I'm not defensive when it comes to these type of thing. I just like to give the context of like, oh yeah, this was intention. What do you think about that? And if you say, hey, like, I understand your intention or whatever, but still I have this comment, like, that's fair, you know? I feel like that should be something that you should be able to say. Is this too much? It's hard to tell. I almost feel like we don't need this, but let me see. Let me try a slightly... Let's try that one. What do you think? Did you like the cleaner sky? I feel like I like the cleaner sky better than the bend. Brains that says, hello, handsome pixel god. Hey, thanks for stroking my ego here. Nightpet says, I do think lower birds bring home that the plinth is really big. Yeah, I like the lower one as well. Baka says, yep, cleaner sky, cleaner sky. Yeah, I agree. Baka says, a third one could have the wings bent to the top. Yes, right. To give that varied. I mean, to a point, I could even do this. And this is the beauty of pixel art, is that you could have like really just variables of things. I'll give a little anti-aliasing. There you go. Then we'll do a thin tip. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Let's see. Baka says, oh yeah, when I tried to do some P-Will art, oh, you mean pixel art? No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know, typos happen. Pixel art for a platformer. I never know if it's better to make the light source coming from the top left or top right. I think top right is probably the best. Top left, some sort of angle, because it gives the form the best option. Like because like I think I said this before. I experimented with this a few times and it's really hard, and it really depends on your style. But like anytime you have a form, okay, not even cube, like most of the time anything organic is circle, right? So like if you have something like this, if we say, hey, light is from the top, what you end up getting is something along the lines of like this, right? And then the problem with this is, like, it makes sense, but it's ugly. You know what I mean? And also, you don't really get the sense of, I mean, technically you would be doing something like this. And then you would have some sort of like blue or reflective. Something like that, right? So you get something like this. I mean, obviously, if it's a pixel art, you don't really have an opportunity to have this, like even have this like, what do you call, reflective light thing going on. Actually, you might actually end up having something like this more so. You know? You get, like, it's like the ratio. What you get is, I mean, the idea is that, okay, ignore how ugly this is. But what I wanted to say, besides all that, is that the light to shadow ratio is uneven, where most of it is in the shadow, if it's from the top. To me, that feels like a bad idea because it's like you only have this much space to describe a form, like what the shape is, as opposed to if you do it like kind of 45 degrees angle, a little bit to the front, as opposed to directly to the top or directly on the plane, then you have an opportunity to do something like this, which feels like there's more opportunity to describe a shape. And you have more interesting angle, more dramatic angle. Now, granted, this is like this 45 degree is definitely more dramatic. So if you're making something cutesy, for example, when you do something cutesy or blocky, I think people tend to do more like directly top. But if you're thinking of making something that feels a little bit serious or like artistic, then I think probably 45, top left or top right. But yeah. And all at the same time, the thing about game dev is that sometimes you don't have to be consistent with the light source. Because at the end of the day, you prioritize visual information rather than accuracy. You might have to change the light angle or like kind of do more detail than actual in reality or in certain parts to describe, I don't know, some information, you know? Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to get some of this to be a little bit more interesting. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it being completely in the shadow. But since I did this already, this like whole like texture-y little branch thing already, I'm like, maybe I should add something here. As I'm very cautious of the case of over baking details, which makes it worse. So maybe that's okay. Feels good. I think that feels okay. I might even introduce even darker color down here. Yeah, that's not bad. Mikuri says, it's a cool tower. It is a cool tower, isn't it? It has a story. Usama says add bright highlights to the left side of the leaves to show where the sun is hitting. All right, I'll give it. Do some of these, and then I'll even do a little bit of like speculative stuff here. And then gotta make sure there's too many whites. I'm gonna have to. Oh, you don't hear that every day. Too many whites. There are too many whites. Yeah, it's a non-political channel here, guys. I'm gonna use the jumble tool to kind of jumble it up for that texturing. Boop, boop, boop. I think that's good. Then a little bit of rim light. A little bit of rim light happening here. And then jumble tool again. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. Feels pretty good. Oh, my giggle says this. Oh, wait. It translated you saying hi into this. I'm guessing you're in your keyboard or your computer is not in English or something. Then it auto translates. It's kind of funny. Hi, giggles. Welcome. Devi is going grocery shopping. Hello, Mikori. Hello, Mikori. All right. I think we're good here. The part of me wants to do this like epic like cloud thing, but I think it's kind of nice right now because this whole negative space gives that feeling of like stillness, right? A little stillness, nothing crazy happening right now. I may do something like this. For example, this could be pretty cool. Baka says, will there be an animation? Wouldn't it be cool? So I was thinking about like, how do I translate pixel art into like the pixel art and like game related pixel art into like physical medium. And I was thinking like, you know, those like lenticulated art pieces where you have these like thing where you can move left and right to have it do animation. I was thinking like, oh, what if I bake in like these like either the shader or like movement of the subtle trees, bake it into that and then publish or print like that. But yeah, no, I decided against that. All right, so I'm gonna do post processing here, and we're gonna think about if we like it a certain way or not. Okay. So right now, what I was doing earlier, I added bloom with the little Gaussian scattering. So let me show you. So hold on. I'm going to close this out. Create a new one, 350 for printing. So let's say I import this. I already posted this, but I'm making a final version of this now. Also, why is it not perfect? I don't know. It's kind of annoying that it is like this. Probably don't want to change this composition too much. I like the tree peeking out a little bit. So I'll frame it like this, for example. And then we're good here. So what I was doing earlier, Baka Design says, will there be animation? I don't know. Baka says you could have a sky get slightly darker. clouds coming from the side and gather around the top, then orange line glow, teal, and boom. Yeah, I do think that that will definitely make it better. I kind of like the gray tone right now. There's part of me that's like, I was actually experimenting with these like more like dramatic, like sunset color, deep sky thing. Um, it looked good, but then it felt like it was deviating from the message for some reason. I don't know. I couldn't tell why. I just couldn't get it to look in ways that I felt like, oh, this is it. But maybe we could try. Um. Oh, you mean the animation? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, for example, let's say I do. So, obviously, these runic markers are very like, um, kind of blend. So, what I can do with the soft brush, I was doing one of these things. I might have to make it smaller. That's a little bit too big. So I'm going to go with 30, maybe even 50. Then I'm just going to line this out. Initially, just kind of marking these lines. It's not done yet, obviously. This is what I would consider a post-processing for me, for these mixed medium, I guess. Because obviously this like glow is higher res than these, what do you call, the each individual pixels that are used for this painting, so to speak. So it's kind of cheating, but you know. So if I have something like that, let's say, what I can do right now, it's very concentrated. It feels glowy, but it's like too clumpy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take Gaussian blur on top of it and do a high rate of blurring so that it extends further. And then I'm going to do this as a screen blending and bring the opacity down a little bit. I might even actually do more Gaussian. I want it to have very smooth transition. That's too much. I think that might be okay. Maybe this is okay. Screen or color dodge? Color dodge is great. I'll probably do... Let me go through different blending options. I do think that either overlay or screen feels the best. So I say I do screen here. And so just want to give like a subtle feel of the glow. Slight bloom. Feels okay to me. And then let's say I do have like a color dodge. Right now the sun is very yellow and white, so we're going to keep that as our main thing. Hey Godot, yeah, it has been a while. Nightbed says brighter glow on the darker side. Ooh, good idea. I'll try that. How about more saturated glow in the darker side? I think that might be a right idea. We'll try it out. We'll try it out. I mean, we're all experimenting with this right now. We're all experiencing this together. Oh, no. Let's say I do this, right? And then this, I'm going to Gaussian blur again. And then we'll probably, instead of color burn, color dodge. Color dodge, glow dodge. Yeah, glow dodge looks good. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's awesome. So like just a tiny bit like that. I mean, does this feel too processed to you? Maybe? I don't know. Like that. And then we're gonna go in here, probably double up. Let's do 40 again. Baka says lens flare at the top. I don't know if I want to do full like photo processing. I still want to keep it like, okay, so the idea for me is like, I want it. Hold on. Ooh. Actually. Oh, hold on. Sorry. What do I want? What I want. What do I want is. Hold on. Does that feel better? Baka says a pixel lens flare, not an ugly high res lens flare Photoshop style. I see. What would that look like? Like, are you talking about like one of these where I would have something along the lines of like, oops. I think it would look something like that. Oop. Not sure how to draw. Well, the idea is something like that, right? I don't really know how to. Hold on. I'm gonna have to look at lens flare reference. I don't want to be Michael Bay because technically, where's the lens coming from? I suppose. Okay, I see it from the main source of the light. You get these like little. It really depends on the shape of the sensor, I guess. So like, could have. Oh my gosh. Seems like there's like something like that. If I'm doing this correctly, it's like something. I don't know. I mean, I see a potential. My ability is lacking, I think. But thanks for the suggestion. Conic again says, "Hi, big fan here. Hi, hello." We did brighter glow on the dark side, as Nightbeth said. Godot says, "Been a minute." Hi, I already said that. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's hard. Kind of want to do it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Because lens flare happens when the camera is directly pointing to the really bright stuff, and then refraction is happening within the lens. So it should be at the brightest point, near the brightest point. And I think it looks more like this, like that. But alas, I'm sorry, but I think this is the end. We're just gonna have to work with this. What do we think about this? Too much? What if I just do it like this? I don't think this will. Would this actually print okay? I don't think so. Ugh, my eyes. And then color dodge. Color dodge on the reflective light against the trees, right? Like the green color. The green color dodge here. Probably more like this. towards yellow. So like, let's say you have something like that. Like that. Just shape it out a little bit so that it's not just random color dodge. And then I'll also Gaussian blur this one so the transition doesn't feel too harsh. Just kind of lower the intensity here. Something like that. Could be good. The question at this point is this too much processing? Is this against the theme and the kind of feel of the art? Maybe not, maybe. Connick says, I happened to draw my first cube in OpenGL today. It took too long. Yeah, that's the hardest, I think, the first cube. Chikuma says, on print, you can get those bloom effects with the 5th ink pass. Maybe some fluorescent color? Huh. See, I've never printed anything before, so this is all new and experimental. So if I like save this and export it as, I don't know, I'm guessing in the print world, people don't want it as PNG file. Godot says, what you working on? Just working on a little art piece. So I was working on this because I wanted to actually make a print to hang up on the wall to sell. I also started making a kind of like the artist account a little bit because I was like, hey, I'm inspired by all the people at Artist Alley selling their art. I kind of want to do that. So I started making a little art account with a proper branding. I just wanted to go through the proper exercise of everything to see if I can get a shop set up just kind of passively. So part of that is, you know, working on our first art. And I was thinking that this one would be like art release along with like kind of like dungeon-esque game magazine feel type of thing. You get illustrations sometimes, but it's all pixel art illustrations sometimes. Sometimes you get the dungeon map. Sometimes you get this artifact with a little story. Hey, thanks for the follow, G-Prong. So just kind of working on this. Chikuma-san says, nope, no PNG. You can use JPEG at 4 or 5 channel, one for each ink. I see. I heard that some people, because I know CMYK is what like the multipass is usually using, but for illustration, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to make this printable? I guess I'll do JPEG for now. But it would be best TIFF. It'll allow for multi. Okay. TIFF, high resolution, lossless. There's no other option here, so I'm just gonna do it as that. And I want to get this printed. I don't want to buy $1,000 or $2,000 printer for just this. So any order printing recommendations out here? Who's already doing arts and art sales? I'll take it. I want to test it out to see how it looks in person. So yeah, this would be my first work. Ubigebi says, cool obelisk. What are the saturated lines on it? These are kind of like the runic glow where the obelisk has activated. That's the secret. That's the mystery. So the storyline that I posted along with this as like my first piece is this. I mean, it feels weird to narrate it, so maybe that should have been my task first. So I wrote, in quote, they are dormant no longer. The great obelisks of the olds are as part of our world as the roots in the ground. To us, they have always simply been, but today we cannot ignore the terrifying question. Who woke them? The idea is that I woke up for some reason. This is the start of this adventure type of situation. A story-driven illustration type of thing is what I'm getting at here, I think. I don't know how I feel about this line, but whatever. Who's counting? Print company. Chikome says current color mode is sRGB, so for print it is CMYK alpha. Alpha is used sometimes as a fifth color pass. It can be gloss or special ink. Okay. Probably no gloss. I would think that I wouldn't want gloss on my art piece, do I? Should I just try this cat print? I need to... No order minimum. Ooh. What? Foil printing. It would be cool to have some foil printing eventually. I feel like this is going to take too long. Do I do this off stream? Do I do this research off stream? Is this too boring? The malicious rabbit says, I've always loved the mix of ancient advanced civilization with nature. Yeah, the whole theme, the brand guideline that I came up with for this particular one, the idea was that the whole theme would be ancient magic technology thing that has been overrun by nature, and it has some unexpected amalgamation of magic and nature, and you are just kind of exploring this world. So yeah, I had a target audience here. Let me put my brand guideline that I put together and see if the target audience reads correctly. Otherwise, we're going to have to correct this. Hey, you're getting to see the construction of business together here. Yes, I'm doing art here, but this is still relevant to, I think, game development as well. So I have this whole ass thing. Look. A compelling fusion of mysterious ancient ruins and relentless overgrown nature here. We got the audience. Where's my audience? A target audience. I named this person Dylan, a passionate 29-year-old fan of RPGs, D&D, fantasy, literature, and movies, and analytical thinking. This person is a mental teeth sinker who loves deep lore, unlocking secrets, and discovering intricate stories. Now, will I actually satisfy that? I don't know. That's the question for later. Let's see. Baka says, I think you would love the work of artist Mobius. Sounds familiar. I feel like somebody probably pointed this person out before. Oh, yes. I am very... Unless this is not... Wait, this is not it. Who are we talking about? The Art of Mobius. Is this it? Same guy? Oh. Yeah. I do like it. The hard line is hard. I am always so jealous of like the patience that goes into like doing this type of like detailed, clean work. I'm not there yet, unfortunately. But yeah, this is like beautiful. This is perfect. I do love it. Look at this world. Oh my goodness. It also reminds me of there was a unpublished version of Dune. I forgot the name of it. Dune by this crazy director. Has a similar vibe to it. Oh, he did all yeah, Jodorowsky. Yeah, exactly. It's a very, very much the same feel. The malicious rabbit says, I've always loved the... Oh, no, I already read that, didn't I? I'm crazy. I love rereading comments, apparently. But yeah, no, I do think that this is a great inspo. I should probably keep these as an inspo. Visual guide. How do I bookmark this? Boop. Art. There you go. Thanks for pointing that out. Someone says, I think this tower should have a door on the side facing the walkway that leads to it. Also, maybe a man looking to the tower can be placed at the bottom of the picture along with the shadow. I'm a little bit reluctant to put any human on it because, well, at least maybe later, I wanted to set the stage as like seeing it before it's not been contacted type of situation. Like it's just between the nature and the ruin, or nature and the ruin. Men are not involved type of situation, maybe? I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah. Baka says, yeah, no human presence is more mysterious. Yeah, that's at least my intention. I do understand why you would think that having a man looking up is like great. It's great for scale setting. But I think the intention of the art is for the whole like, I want to be there, but I'm not there yet. This is new. This is undiscovered. It's as nature is. Yeah. Ubigevi says, sometimes less is more. Too many other elements can ruin an image. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it as, I mean, that's why I just kept this like bird for scale, tree for depth, mountain range for nature. The green field is actually to show the peacefulness and undisturbed nature of it all. And then, of course, obelisk is just the center stage. So I'm hoping that this accomplishes what I wanted to accomplish. And as an art piece, as something that can go on the wall, I'm focusing very much on the contrast to see how it stands. But, you know, as again, I'm red-green colorblind, so we'll see how that actually prints out. Baka said, there's a path made of stone. We understand there was intelligence there before, but maybe abandoned now. Yeah, exactly. It's overgrown. That's the whole idea. Overgrown. Gosh, hold on. Digital art, print service. Luma Prints. I am always a little bit reluctant to go for the sponsored link. Print or fine art print. Okay, let's see. Tabletop. What is that? Wall art. Yes, please. I'm going to have to ask vendors out there what the best is. What's canvas prints? Oh, it's like on wrapped canvas? No, thank you. That's too expensive. Poster prints. Okay, this is more like it. $12. That's rough. How much margin can I take if I were to sell this? It's for a poster. But I could see this as like a cool, like almost like slightly bigger than wallet size sticker to post on like my laptop. That could be cool. But if I make it a sticker, I think I would put a gold border on it. Gold or amber border. It definitely needs a border for a sticker. Let's try this out. All right, I'm going to try to do sign in or sign up off screen here real quick. And okay, so what I actually wanted to get around to, actually, hold on. I'm going to use my other account for this one. What I actually wanted to do as additional work, so obviously I did this off stream for my own pleasure. For the artwork that is more related to game development, I kind of wanted to do a little bit of asset creation. So the idea is dungeon, asset. So you will see like a print is like this, like almost like structured, organized, like tile set on top or at the bottom or around the rim. And then you have the main dungeon. So you see what is used to create this dungeon. And then the dungeon has like a little story. And then in the back, maybe there's a QR code to the asset pack. I'm thinking just, I want to do a test print first. And then I want to post about the print. I want to gather interest because I don't think I will be selling any of this at this point. Like who, think about it. Would any of you guys buy this right now? I don't think so. But I do think that there's a potential for, like, if I hang it and there people might come across it as I construct booth for maybe next year. McCurry says, I would get it on display. What's displate? I never heard of it. Displate? What's a displate? Metal posters? That's intense. Yeah, that can't be cheap. Oh, it glows. That's fancy. I think there's an opportunity for using something like that eventually. Yeah, it seems good. I do like that idea. It's just something that I can't just commit my money into yet. All right, let's see. Create your first gallery to get started. Sure. Ezra's Archive. I'll get my... Oh, it doesn't take TIFF. So I do have to do JPEG or PNG. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm a little reluctant to print JPEG because JPEG is compressed. And PNG is lossless. But does JPEG have some information that allows the print to be better? Kcox says, yo, what's up? I don't know why it's keep translating English into English wrongly. You said yo, and then it translated to they. Hey, Cake. But yeah, that's cool. All right. So I'm going to, I don't know. Print, digital art print, PNG versus JPEG. Let's see if there's anything. I save as JPEG for most things and PNG for transparent images. JPEG, when saved at a highest quality, will look virtually, but information-wise, it's not the same. Whatever. I'll do JPEG. I'll order a print and see what it looks like. Does that feel the same? It might. I'm working with like a very limited color palette, so maybe there's an opportunity to expand the palette. Warning, when cropping, keep important parts of the image with the gray within the gray line to be safe, okay? All right. 1. Ooh, I can't even zoom in. Ooh, you can definitely see the... Ooh, you can do effects. Oh my god, that's so ugly. No, thank you. Best fit. That's okay. Paper. E-surface. Our most popular photographic paper. Metallic. No, thank you. Traditional photo. So this one is the gloss. I don't know if I like the gloss. Our luster coating adds a rich sheen to your prints and protects against fingerprints and UV exposure. Border? Yes border or no border on these prints? What do you think? Baka Design gave me the Reddit link. Here it is. Best printing service. Okay. I saw this at link. They're using their own thing. Prints and Poster. Fireball has been my main printer for conventions, Artist Alley for more than 10 years, based in Philadelphia. Ordering from afar. Got Print says, is my #1 choice for printing free advertising collateral like business cards and postcards. Quality and fair prices. They've been out Vista print and overnight prints for their superior quality. Also offer luxe finishes like rounded corners and raised foil printing. Gallery wrap, I don't need that. Print on demand, dropshipping. Inprint.com offers superior quality control for their art prints, cards, and canvases. Plus, they give their artists a generous 50% cut off the profits. Okay, this is on demand print. I mean, at least this. Oh. Are they out of business? In print. Let's see. I don't know. On-demand print is less pressure, but I guess like if I do like Artist Alley, obviously you need mass print. But on-demand print is probably where you would start, right? The business is so hard. This is so hard. I mean, ideally, I have my own printer, but you'll try it out. Here, let's sign up. I'll do it off screen real quick. Ezra's Archive. Ezra Kim. Archive of Ezra at gmail.com. Well, hopefully I remember all my accounts here. I'm sorry, guys, that I'm doing this like miscellaneous things outside of game development. But I think this type of thing kind of goes along with usual running of the business side of the game development. So it's not too off topic, I think. But do not fear if you're worried that this is what I do all the time. If you're new here, I do actual programming and stuff as well. Archive of Ezra. Archive of Ezra kind of sounds like Archive of Our Own, which is notorious for other things, right? Or is it Archive of Our Own? No newsletter. All right. Baka says, it's interesting. Pixel art and discussion to chill on Friday. Yeah, no, I mean, this is like low stake Friday. Also, as I said before, you know, I'm on the kind of like the last hurrah of getting all the business side of things taken care of on stream and content making and product making, because the day job starts in a few weeks. Oh, the reality. All right. Okay, so instead of doing this, I'm going to try the imprint on demand and see what that looks like. How do I log in? I think we were Ezra's Archive. What? I think it wants me to verify. So much different. I do wonder, part of me is like, maybe I don't like the bloom. The thing about bloom effect, whenever I see it in game or even in the art piece, it gives me like, it makes my art, or not art, but like, you know, like that feeling where you have like gunk in your eye and everything looked a little blurry. So I'm like, cleaning my eyes, being like, I can't see. So it's like, oh, okay, well, it's kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like, maybe not. Bloom effect is definitely something that you need to be careful of for sure. All right, here we are. All right, we're going to upload my logo now that I have all these pieces of information that I need. No Instagram yet. I just created a Blue Sky. What was my Blue Sky name? And we're gonna order this, and we'll find out when it comes. I'll let you know what it looks like. Ezra's Archive, yeah. Ezra's Archive.bsky social. I think that works. No Twitch, no Patreon. About me. I'll just copy and paste my messaging here. Pixel art by TTRPG Enjoyer. Game dev by day, artist by night. Portfolio, no portfolio. Birthday? Do I have to write that down? No, thank you. All right. Okay. Shop. Artist. That's by the artist. Custom printing. Open a print shop. Starting your own print shop. Getting started in Imprint is simple, created by our community of artists. New artists join by invitation or through a short application process. Applying is easy and only takes a second. We're looking for 3. Did you know we offer bulk printing? I don't need bulk printing right now. Image requirement. Please keep image under 5 megabyte. Image should be JPEG format and RGB. Don't need to be print ready. Please don't submit product mockups. Painting or other traditional piece. Please make sure the work is in focus, evenly lit. Adding website or portfolio. Imprint will not knowingly approve submission generated by AI. Yeah, I don't care about that. Please attach 3 individual image files. Why 3? I need 3 before being able to print something? Requirements. It's like, we need to know you're a serious artist. Baka says, I prefer the clean Pixel one personally. Chikoma says, usually nearby art and design college, there are local shops. Oh, you know what's funny? I do live right next to an art college. So that makes sense. I should probably do that first. But they usually take bulk orders anyways, right? Only. As they need to deliver many mock projects. Yeah, that is a good suggestion. RBG 3 colors. Why is this upload taking forever? Baka likes the clean one better. Okay, well, everyone, let's do a real quick vote on this then. This was a little bit of an experiment to see, like, if I guess it's more pure to the theme of it being a pixel art rather than being adulterated by this modern effect of the glow. This versus this. Vile says libraries have services for this kind of stuff, at least where I live. Okay. I don't have a library in a walking distance, so I might have to kind of search locally. But good point, good point. All right, let's do a quick poll. I know we only have so many people paying attention to the chat here, but let's do a poll. Which, how do you start a poll? Manage poll. Create a new poll. Okay. Which art style do you like better? One is purely pixel art, clean. Pixel plus light post process. Let's do 1 minute. There you go. Hey, all right. If you're on Twitch and if you're paying attention, so the option here, I think it is, wait, what the heck? This versus this. Hello? All right. Boop. Okay, this versus, how do I tuck this in? This. I know it's a little distracting. Here, let me, yeah. I mean, is it I know it's a little hard to tell the difference, but so this one is option 2 where we got a little bit of bloom here, a little glow, and color dodge obviously is deviating from the art style of pixel art, and then you have this normal plain old pixel. Wait, 1 minute was very short. We have vote of one person. Hold on. Ubi says bloomless one. Okay. Metier Star says the one with less glow looks cleaner to me. I get distracted easily. I agree. I mean, part of me believes that too. I just wanted to experiment a little bit. Okay. Well, I think 3 is good. Baka says that's me. I'm the majority. True. You are the majority. All right, we'll go with the clean one then. I'll make a clean version real quick. I'll do 800% is good. I think, what did I save this as? Export the obelisk. It's just simply the obelisk. Okay, cool. Seems like it wants it to be a JPEG though. Oh, not this. Export as JPEG. Wait. JPG or JPEG? Hold on. I should know the difference. Chikoman says, also, you do need to keep in mind that working with pixel art for printing can be troublesome because the resolution they print at digital world images are usually at 72 pixel per square inch, and print objects are at 300 ppi or dpi, dots per inch, which sometimes means that they scale the asset, and that can make it look no longer pixel arty. Troublesome. We'll find out. Depending on the dots per inch, I guess. 72 pixels per square inch. Do I have to do the math for it then? Ooh, we'll see. That means like print sampling is going to be very important. I'll have to figure it out somehow, unless somebody has like figured it out already for me. Mediastar says, hello again, by the way. The pronunciation is Metia, right? Then star. Okay, Metia Star. Media Star. I was tired the first time I joined your stream. Yeah, no problem. It's okay. Thanks for clarifying. Appreciate it. We love a good communication, don't we? Yes, we do. Communication king and queens over here. And etc. Chikome says 8x8. 8x8. What does that mean? Square? Baka says, well, can't you convert to 300 ppi in Photoshop, for example, and get the clean result? I can. I mean, it's a little so I can frame it. So I can use my Clip Studio and import the image onto the canvas. And I can actually set the canvas by the inch. So let's say I do, instead of pixel here, let's say, where's the inch option? Ah, there it is. So what's a print inch? We have, is it 19 by 13 or something like that? The 2 to 3 print wall resolution in inches. That is 2 to 3 ratio is aim for 300 dpi, 24 by 36 inch. Is that true? Okay. 24 by 36 inch. Other way around. And then we're going for 300 dpi. I think. That's what the Google search says. This work is 2 by 3. 2 by 3. Not a square. But 8 by 8 is 72. 17.3 by 17.3 is 300, okay? So this is what we're looking at, right? And then we can import. A little scared. You know, part of it is actually, so let me think. 1, 2, 3 and a half. 1, 2. So 3.5. Actually, I can export it clean without stretching it out for the pixel art. Obviously, I could do it by anti-aliasing, turning off the anti-aliasing. But I could just also export it at that size. So if I do times 3.5, well, I should probably do it here. 800 times 3.5 is 2,800. That's a lot. Oh, I wonder if this is going to yell at me. Let's see. Vile says, so do prints have pixel resolution and DPI? That's so confusing, yeah. It's because you have the resolution of the printer, and then you have the resolution of the art, and then you have the ratio conversion between them. So when you're stretching a pixel art, you can get inconsistent pixel sizes. Yeah, see? This is kind of perfect, I think. I think we're good here. What do you think? Like this seems ideal, right? Oh, wrong one. This doesn't feel too bad. Hey, thanks for the sub. Hello Stories. Chikome-san says, DPI stands for dots per square inch, dots being the unit of measurement, can be pixels or in physical world, ink dots. Yeah. I mean, it seems like this is a good resolution. Also, hold on. What the heck? I just opened it instead of importing. So let's import that. Oh, actually, do I have to do the JPEG one? Okay, kind of perfect, actually. My math was kind of on point. It's a little off. But honestly, that's okay, I feel. This much margin I can work with. What do you think? I might make the background color same as the sky color, though. Kind of annoying, but is it going to bother me that it's not centered? Maybe. I don't think I can get it to be even, honestly. Okay. The bottom edge seems a little bit too gappy, but I think it's okay. This much quality control, I think it's okay. And then we got this. Full all around, and then you have slight border. So top side of the border is not even visible. So I think we could just adjust the bottom part and then call it a day. What does this side look like? Okay. You would think that I would do it by the math. Oh. Yeah, this seems good. I like. Yes. Big card. This is a, what was it? 24 inches by 36. 24. That's huge. Wait, that's big. We don't want that, right? We want like 11 by 13. Yeah, right? Knife Bet says anything that looks like a big card makes me want to suggest a full terror set. Eventually, maybe there's an opportunity. That's not part of the goal yet. Baka says, or you leave a bigger margin on purpose at the bottom, and that will be where your signature stands. Do I have to sign it? I don't know what my sign is. And I feel like it needs to be kind of. Do I have to sign it? It's a print. Does print require signing? I don't know. Media says, my hand have so much trouble with big tarot cards, but they feel and look good. Yeah. We do love a good old shiny, sleek, finished tarot cards. Nightbed says you do need some kind of maker's mark. I suppose so. We gotta make a little signature then. Let's invent a signature that is me. But also, because I want everything to be kind of pixel arty, I'll keep it pixel arted. Let's see. We'll do this. I mean, I do have a signature. But pixel art version of this would be kind of interesting. It's so easy to forge this, though. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you forge this. Nightbed says, can't forget the dash of poison. Huh? What are we talking about? Media says it'll still be up on the internet. A little bit of watermarking or AI poisoning might be a nice. Oh, that's right, right. We do need AI poisoning. How do you do AI poisoning these days? What have we concluded in regards to that? Actually, you know what? I feel like it should be whatever. Let's see. Like that. Baka says, well, name recognition. You're building a brand and a dot after the A that gives a written feeling. Great, great, great. Probably single dot is fine. Media says, my hand have so much trouble with big tarot card. No, I already read that. Jesus. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, okay. That's all the chats. All right. AI poisoning? I don't know. I don't know what I need to do for that. But sure. Baka says maybe not that bright. Okay. How about I take in the brown? No. Is that too earthy? More subtle? How about because I kind of want to still keep it within the what do you call? Still want to keep it within the palette. The light gray of the rock. Okay. I mean, at this point, it's like it's a work that we've built together. I feel like I have to put Baka Design's signature here as well. Jokes. Okay, so we're gonna do. I think 24-inch was a little bit too big. So maybe multiples of the small card, like this. What is that? That is about. I think that's like about 8-inch. Is there a poster card? Poster card dimension or tarot card dimension. I just want to know the general inches. 63. So many information. We got 5.75. 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About this big. I do want it to be a little bit longer. So I'm thinking like, I think I'm looking at like 7 inches here. And let me think. So the big print, I'm trying to see what that, I don't know if you can see it. This is the Tom Bacon's pixel artwork that I bought at Artist Alley, one of the cons. I think that's like 11 by 13 or something like that. 11-inch standard picture size. 11 by 17, 12 by 15. Oh, I guess this is letter size, but these. What should I be satisfied with the letter size? I can't. This is so hard to decide on size. Just deciding on the size alone is very difficult. Nightpet says signature color mesh the runes. No, I don't think so. Good suggestions, but I don't want to make it that way because the problem with matching the rune color is that it's one of the brighter things, so it takes the eye away from it immediately. I don't want the signature to be the first thing, maybe like the third thing that people see. Media says, what are you making this for? I'm trying to start on some sort of art business on top of making games, on top of all the other things, because I do like art and I was inspired by Artist Alley. So I want to set up a booth in like different cons, like PAX, you know, some anime cons and all those things. So that's the idea. So I'm trying to sell prints eventually. But part of that is also a hobby of just hang it up on my own wall. 12 by 15? Let's see. So if I do 12 inches, that's 12 by 18 if I want to do 2 to 3. 11 by 17 is the closest I get. I guess we could have a margin if I use something else. Five by 7. 5 by 7 is cute. 8 by 10. 8 by 10. You know what? I'm gonna go look at other artists and then look at their little advertisement for our fellow artist. He has some interesting stuff too. I bought his stuff already. Kind of want to look at his print sizing. See if there is anything there. I'm sure just stealing people's research, you know. 13 by 19. Okay. 13 by 19. These are desk mats. Not what I'm looking for. This one is 13 by 19. It seems like 13 by 19 is what this guy is going for. So maybe the multiples of 13 by 19. So we're looking at 6 by 13 by 19. Yeah, 19 by half. So it's 8 by 6 or something like that. If the half size is. All right, well, whatever. So we'll do. Somebody said something earlier. 8 by 8 is 72 DPI. Media says big landmarks sound nice as posters, especially if it comes from a current game. Yeah, I think part of it is I do want to kind of start building lores, and it's going to be all connected world type of thing. So it's thematic. So I do plan on making something out of it, maybe similar to a game. Cards are easier to store. Okay. What are card sizes though? 5 by 7? Are we looking for 5 by 7 then? I feel like 6 by 8. 8 by 10. 6 by 8? Ah, though. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this big. I mean, that's not too bad, but it's also very small. Media says, ooh, story would definitely be nice as cards. Yeah. Okay, first of all, I want to make this as a print. Big poster print first, and then I'll think about making cards. How about that? Seems a little backwards, but... So we're looking for... We said 13 by 9. I'm gonna aim for 8 by 10 because that's closer to letter. Yeah. Maybe a little bit bigger than the letter. 10 by 12. Let's do 10 by 12. 10 by 15. I know nothing. 10 by that. If I import this, let's see what the size looks like. Kind of want half of this, I think. Yeah. Car needs to be a set. And car can have like a bunch of like text and stuff like that. Okay, let me think. So instead of just 400, I think I'm looking for 500 multiples as JPEG. Who knew? Just setting up the file itself is so difficult. I guess people knew that. I'm just coming into it. 500 JPEG. 500 is not enough. There is... What if I do 600? Did it get smaller? Hello? Okay, it did get smaller. Weird. 800%. I'm so confused what's happening here. Doesn't seem right. Okay, a little better. My signature is hidden here. Bring it up. Move it over. I definitely want the little shadow to show a little more. So compositionally, it's not too bad. It's not too off. I think we're good here. All right, let's go with this. No fancy bloom effect. We're gonna do a straight. We'll export it as JPEG. The final. This is, what is it? It's a 10 by 15. Awkward size, I guess. Is 10 by 15 awkward? I don't know. Does it not fit any? Oh, we'll see. Guys, we're learning. We're learning. I guess it can fit in this. 10 by 15 can fit in this frame. It's not too bad. Yeah. People might have to cut it off a little bit, but not too bad. And we set in demand. Let's see if we can actually do this here. Yeah, it doesn't know how to do this. We were looking at something else that we were about to order that we canceled out of. So let me try to find it again. By reopening all the closed tabs that I've had. At some point, oh no, I don't want my Gmail opening. I don't know where it is. Whatever, we'll figure it out. What was the print shop that we were looking at earlier that we were about to print things out of? Echiati says, I made a card game using your YouTube video from a while back. Learned so much. Hey, thanks for watching. And I'm glad you were able to make something. We're on our little pixel art journey right now. We're trying to make some prints and struggling. Let's see. On-demand print. I think we were looking at... What were we looking at? Art print. Poster. MPix? Were we looking at MPix? Yeah, I think so. This looks familiar. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to order this. Chikome says, maybe I out of stream do a Google Map search. Oh, you're right, because I don't want people to know where I live. I didn't even think about that. How about this? Print shop or print shop near me? Maps. I'm gonna get rid of this. So we're getting how do I undo? Add a photo. Got the new one here. Okay. This one, the crop is good. Goes all the way out to the border. Oh, interesting. 4:6. We want to change it, I think. We want to do 8:10. No thanks. We said it was 10:15, right? This design was 10:15. So that's about here. It'll still not fit. Still a little out of bound. Popular sizes. 16:20. These are big. Oh, 10:15. $8. That's not too bad. It still seems like it's like out of border, just perfectly out of border. Which is not ideal, right? It should be just slightly bigger, I think. Why is it doing that? Why can I not get it to be fit better? Can I move it? Like that? Hmm. I don't know. I have a feeling I'm going to be disappointed by this. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, it definitely looks better without the bloom. It's cleaner. Please review your crop before completing your purchase. Great accuracy recommended for large groups. Slower to load and slower to process each photo. Good accuracy recommended for individual small groups. Huh? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll figure out the print shop thing outside of stream later. Media says, that makes sense. Posters are. No, I already read this. Yeah. We'll find out. E-surface. I think that's okay. We're definitely not doing metallic. Texture, no thank you. Luster coating. Yeah, no thanks. It's not a photo. Fingerproof. No wall mount frame. Mount and mat. No thank you. We don't need any of that. I just want to print. 39 cents. Wait, is that legit? It only cost me 39 cents? It said it starts at $8. Retouching. No retouching here. I'm ordering one. Baka said, thank you for your order. Your 1,000 prints will be ready by tomorrow. And then I have to pick it up in person or something. That'd be crazy. You know what? I'm going to do... $5? Oh, whoops. What the heck? No. Okay, jeez. 0 here. I might actually just have to delete this. How do I get rid of this? Option. I can't. Whatever. I'll do this one. Yeah, that was close. Woo. 5? Should I give away? Should I give away 4? It's a big risk, you know. Oh, what is it warning me? Oh, it's a 4 by. Okay, it's still 4 by 6. I need to make sure. Hold on. That's why it's so cheap. That's not right. I want 10 by 15. Okay, that's why it was cheap. Now it's okay. $8. It makes more sense. Chikome says, Maria, thanks for pointing out all the stuff that I'm stumbling against. Chikome says, you might want a site that looks this crappy, huh? Oh, yes. Oh, this is... They're dedicated to printing. They're so good at printing that they neglected their website entirely. Chico says, I looked for printing shops nearby Oakland and California. Just my guess. I'm not there. I'm not in Oakland, California, or any of those places. I mean, I've mentioned it several times. I am in Seattle, Washington. I can say that much. Media says, ooh, the uni on that hurts me. Or UI on that hurts me. Yeah, no, that UI is not for the people. I'm gonna order 2. I'm gonna order 2. And maybe I'll do a little giveaway. Purchase not necessary giveaway. The condition is whoever joins my live no, one of the followers when the print arrives. Okay. Nightbed says if you do giveaway, you come link it to the weekly. Oh, you can. You can weekly. Yeah, I could, I guess. Well, we don't know how good it actually will be. Maybe I shouldn't do 2 prints just yet. I have a feeling it's going to look pretty bad. We'll do a test print here. What? What do you mean on tile 9.5 by 9.5? It just does whatever it wants to do. Media says you can try 1 print of different size. Oh, actually, you're right. Conic says, I have no hope after 5x sub-gift incident. Yeah, well, I mean, this one I'll be selecting manually, so. Okay. Hold on. I think I'm going to try multiple here. I want to try the smaller size and see if it fits better, or if it still prints okay. So I'm looking for something along the lines of 5 by 7.5. So this is the closest I get. Maybe slightly bigger. I mean, it's not quite 2 to 3. Ooh, what the heck? I broke the website. Hold on. 110 by 15. And then we'll do one. This is not going to fit very well, I think. This is too big. 20 by 30. That's too expensive to even try as a sample. Try 4 by 6. 8 by 12 doesn't feel too bad. I mean, this is 2 by 3. All right, I'll try the 6 by 9. Okay, we're good here. No retouching. 10 by 15 and 6 by 9. I'm going to add these to the cart. Go to the cart. Remove one of these. Standard. Do I have to choose this? What is this? Gloss, matte, semi-gloss, fine art. Fine art paper is a thick matte paper with subtle watercolor texture. No thanks, I think. Do I have to choose this as well? Shikumen says Kodak has printers or photo booths at some Walmarts. Yeah, but you know, would you say that's like that you would use that as a standard product order? Hey, Zuzu. Long time no see. Shikuma says, if you're going to print small, I look for printing shops nearby. Yeah, that's fine. Hi, Cooley. Doctor says, what toppings do you get on pizza? Me? Oh, I actually, okay. Sometimes I do get into the mood of Hawaiian. So, like, just regular ham and pineapple because it makes the tomato sauce stand out. But for my normal enjoyment, yeah, well, for my normal enjoyment, I do like what's considered supreme. I like bell pepper, like green bell pepper. So it's gonna have green bell pepper, olives. I actually like olives, pepperoni, and maybe sausage. I can do without. Um, what else? I actually don't like onion on my pizza too much. It's already in the sauce. It's kind of too much, anyways. Those three kind of make for a good combination of flavor, I think. Balanced. Um, okay, well, I'm a little bit confused about this like paper choice. It seems like it's optional, but what happens if I don't choose it? What does it print as? Lifelike color and realistic saturation. Fine art paper is thick matte paper with subtle watercolor texture. Mm-hmm. Nipa says, heck yeah, pineapple and olive. I never actually had those two combination. I'll be interested. I think it could be good. Dr. 7 says, I'm basic, so I go with black olives and pepperoni. That's a good one. I mean, all right, bye. Bye, Doctor. Thanks for stopping by and asking a question. Legendary Dev says, yo, Ezra, how you doing, bud? Olives are the worst. Are we having an Ask Anything session? I mean, we are always Ask Anything. But right now, so outside of our game dev, I'm starting a art account. I actually want to set up a booth and sell physical art, but then it's like pixel art. So we just finished finalizing our the obelisk along with the story that goes with it. So I'm trying to test print physically. So we're in the process of trying to order this in different sizes. I mean, it's already, I don't like that it's like it won't let me do margin. Like I have to bake in the margin instead of moving it around. So, well, we'll see how that turns out. MPix. And this one is not even uploading. So, our prints. I want to print my own stuff. Custom printing. I don't have a good feeling about this website, I have to say. I gotta be honest. Shikome says, is the booth thing real at a mall? No, I mean like for cons, like conferences, like ArtCon, AnimeCon, GamesCon, like PAX. Because those conferences always have like Artist Alley. And I think pixel art is kind of relevant to both GamesCon and whatever. But yeah, Legendary Dev says, what made you get into game development? What is your backstory on your development journey? Oh, good question. Now, Ginger Dev asking the real question. So I have always wanted to be a game developer. Actually, when I was younger, by the way, this is before like computer science or like programming as a career was officially a thing, even in college, I think. I was like, how do I make games? And I got into RPG Maker when I was like 13, and made those games with my friends or showed it off to my friends and all that. And then, years passed by. I got into programming because I really liked it. Was easy for me to understand. Connie says, wait, how old are you now? I'm 36. 5? I don't know. Numbers are kind of hazy now. Very old. But Yeah. So in high school, there was like one of the electives, and one of the electives were programming, like a Visual C type of stuff. Um, and I did well because programming was easy for me. It's like the concept was very simple for me to understand, and then that was it. I did those things as a hobby by myself, but didn't know it was a thing. So when I went to college, I didn't know computer science was a major that existed. So I did my favorite uh, class as my major to go in, which was physics. So I was physics major for like 4 years. I had 1 credit hours left, but in like second or third year of my thing, college, I saw my friends making like games with like Java and Python. I was like, wait, what are you guys doing? What class is this? And then they were like, it's not a class, but I do computer science. And I was like, oh, what is that? And it's like, you program. I was like, wait, that's a major? That's crazy. So I double majored and I got into programming. And after that, obviously worked at Amazon as a backend engineer for like 10 years, and then Google for 2-3 years. And then I got laid off, and then it was like, you know what? I'm going to get back into game development and make content doing it. So I did that for like past 3 years. Of course, I am returning to day job. So I am going to work for a corporate again in a few, but I'm going to continue doing these streaming things and all that. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. It's been fun. That's a backstory. Shikome says, for conventions, I'd add tattoos. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, temp tattoos? That's an interesting art genre. I don't know what serigraphy is. Is it kind of like a risograph? I like risograph, by the way. But I want to keep in the theme of the pixel art, digital art, so we'll expand the theme eventually. Right now, I'm just trying to get this print to work. All right. I'm still a little confused. Do I choose a special type of paper or not? Yes, because I feel like otherwise it's going to print me like one of those like letter paper. Oh, wait. Oh, we have photographic paper versus regular paper. The EC paper. Okay. Wait, what are the differences? So E-surface, standard photographic finish, textured matte finish. No, standard photographic finish. Seems like these are comparable. You know what? I'm going to do this. All right, let's do it. Check it out. I'll receive it, and then we'll figure it out from there. All right. For the sake of Legender Dev, who's just coming in here, I'll show you the art piece here. The question is, would you hang this? Yeah, so I'm doing a little bit more like story-driven art. This brand is called Azurus Archive, and the concept is I'm trying to release art with story tied to it, which is about this like general like magical old school ruins, like old unknown ruins and dungeons being overtaken by the nature, and then you finally figuring out the kind of discovering and crawling these dungeons. So the art will include stuff like illustration art like this, plus like sometimes have these like pre-made dungeons and assets, kind of like a game assets, but then it's like printed. And then maybe it'll have QR codes to the asset pack as well, so that you get access to the asset that you purchased it for as a print for your own fun and use. That's the idea. Because it's not about game development. I think it's more about it satisfies the people who, of course, make their games themselves or any digital product they want to make. But also, I would think it'll make the D&D players happy too, because they get to have some sort of like vibe in the room, their game room, or for their what do you call 'em? Oh, the cats are trying to come in here. No, Peach, leave it alone. The game room, or as like a battle map or like a vibe mat to show to their players and all that. Yeah. Hey, Henge. Henge TV says, sup. Hello. Conic says, WTF. Sorry for the reaction. You look quite young. Oh, thank you. I do get that a lot, but, Oh my gosh, Figgy. Oh my goodness. Nah. Yeah. She's messing up my light. I have the tripod for the light blocking the door. Come here. Up. Oh. Okay. Here we go. All right. Fine. We'll be a little bit distracted for a little bit. Let them in. Yeah. This is Fig. Where voice says, them Asian jeans at work. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. We need to clip your nail. You're ruining my shirt. But yeah. It's hard to tell. Like, I don't know. I would be curious to see if other Asians who know how Asians look in general will be able to age me or not. Do I look my age for those people who are familiar with people of my genetics? I don't particularly find not looking my age as something like beneficial, I think. But I'll have to say professionally, it doesn't help me. Professionally, I've gotten a lot of issues with, like, whenever a new manager comes in, they assume I haven't been in the industry for a long time. So if I'm up against somebody else who's like older looking for like promotion, they get often surprised. I'm like, yeah, I've been here for like 10 years. That's why I'm doing this. Like, I've been doing this. Stop putting me in the back burner. Which is kind of discriminatory, I know. And they shouldn't do that. But I think they do that because they want to keep people happy. And if they've been in the company for a long time without any like upward movement or interest like that, then, they feel more urgent because they don't want to, like, they feel like they're at risk for leaving. I've gotten that before, which I'm like, dude, I'm older than you. Oftentimes to the manager, I'm like, I'm older than you. Henjay says, oh, just start to look older. What a problem. Yeah, it's true. I don't know. It's true. Maybe I should stop using sunscreens and moisturizer. Ow! Okay, I'm going to put her down. All right, this is enough. Let's get out of here. Leave me alone. Please. You can't. Come on. That's it. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Stop. Oh my god. Uh-oh. I got the sniffles. The allergy is starting to trigger. Voice says, is Peach around? Peach is just resting. Fig is the snuggly one. Peach doesn't care too much. Henge says, what game are you making here? If you can, do not speak too fast. Okay. Well, this one in particular is just illustration, and it's a project that I'm working on as like a art. The game I've been working on is called Through the Shatter. I guess I should at least show my game once this stream, since people are like, do you just do art? No. I have a game called Through the Shatter that's meant to be a roguelike adventure / strategy that I'm working on, that I'm aiming to get free demo ready for the June Next Fest. And that one, conceptually simple, just graph traversal, resource management game with some vibe. Void says, did you change the name? I did. Because Cartographer didn't quite feel like the game title. That felt to me like more of a project name. So I have this new title with the little shimmer effect on it. This is the same effect as the Blotchro's foil effect. And then Mr. Incredible says, haha, I like the logo. Thanks, appreciate that. I made up that developer thing because I was like, oh, I gotta polish. So the gameplay is something like this where, hold on, I'm not centered. This is gonna bother me, all right? You have to start. You start with these like very specific number of movements. You have 3 right now, and then you get to explore as much as you want. And then you collect provisions like this, as you can see, picking up items. It says, hey, when you run out of move, you use your provision and resets the movement. Simple enough. So you're balancing your movement with the provision you have, and then you try to maximize the gathering of resources that you need, making decisions of like, do I keep traveling? And then when you're done exploring, you can come back to the start point to exit the exploration mode. And then once you exit the exploration mode, you have this overworld thing. And in the overworld, you can also traverse. But here, the difference is that when you're traveling in the overworld, you use your provision as you travel like this. So it takes resources away from you. Oh, I forgot that I turned off Fog of War here. So normally there's like a Fog of War here. There's some dangers, some exploration. And then there are upgrades and NPCs and storyline, which it seems like it's kind of spread apart right now, so I can't really show you. Oh, yeah, that's right. We were in the middle of debugging this rest site, where we just created this rest site discovery where if you discover the rest site, that option becomes available for that place. This is the new one. So when you have a campfire, you can see that the rest is available as part of the action, which I don't know why button is all the way down there. So UI needs work right now. For some reason, there it is. So you can rest, which is use 1 provision to heal 1/3 of your health. You can use provision to search instead. So you can do extra search. Mr. Incredible says, is this inspired by FTL? I think so. I mean, I think most of my game is heavily inspired by FTL and Into the Breach, Slay the Spire type of games, because those are the type of games I enjoy. Anyways, so that's a game. The artwork I'm working on is I'm just trying to make a little art shop. So, because I went to a thing called SakuraCon here in Seattle, which is a local anime convention, basically, where it's more like Japanese culture convention. And just like any conferences, you see a lot of artists in an artist alley, which is like booth set up with a bunch of people selling their prints and stuff like that. And it looks so fun. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to do that. Okay. I do get as shipping is $10. It says I'm $23 away from free shipping. It's okay. I'll just pay that. I gotta do billing information here. So just gonna fill this up, finish the order, and then we'll get to the next project or next art piece that I'm gonna work on. Because this one, it's kind of funny that we've been here for like how many hours? We've been here for 2 hours, and we really just kind of touched up a little bit of the art that we've been working on, that I worked on. I already basically finished outside of the stream, and nothing else. We've been just looking for We've been just looking for a print shop and some information on printing and just chatting in general. It's okay. We're just vibing. We're chill Friday stream today, so we're not trying to be like super efficient with everything we do. Just relaxing, enjoying life, you know, as that's how it goes. Okay. Say billing. White label shipping. I don't know what that means. Client gift shipping. No, thank you. Add custom back printing. Text to print. Ooh, I can do custom back print. Custom back printing is optional. More details. No, thank you. Maybe I don't do that right now. Confirm order. Yes, my address. Place order. We'll see. It'll come in 3 to 7 days, actually. That's a pretty big margin, but we'll see how that looks. And we'll find out. So that's my very first print. Very first print. Voice says chatting is good. Chatting is good. I do enjoy chatting. Here's one thing that I couldn't decide yet. So obviously I made this with a palette. So I created this palette based on my brand color. For all my art pieces, do I keep the palette or do I get to deviate at all? You know, that's the question. Henj TV says, looks interesting, but I prefer not pixel art graphic. Yeah, I know. I think it's like definitely a preference. I prefer pixel art graphics more to a point where if a gameplay is mostly based around pixel art, like it's a good sell for me. Like it sells to me. But oh my gosh, it just crashed. You know, for each own. 3D games actually turns me off. Or vector graphic turns me off too. I actually don't like splined animation. So like Slay the Spire animation, I actually didn't like it. I didn't play Slay the Spire 1 for the longest time because I thought it looked ugly. But, you know. Baka says, Ezra, if you go back to Sprite, would you mind giving me 5-minute review of my Color Maker plugin? I just finished the stable beta version. You know what? That's a great idea. Let me just use it to come up with a palette. How about that? I'll put in some stuff. You DM me the script. It's somewhere in here. I'll see you offline here. Baka Design. Let's see. Dimension. I wanna do for this one. I'm envisioning like a dungeon diorama thing. How big should it be? I don't know. I'm gonna set the canvas as 1:5:12 for now, and then I'll crop it in. We have archive origin 25 as my initial thing. This is the color I chose. I think I'm gonna do outside of the obelisk. Go back. I'll save this as D for dungeon to obelisk. So the idea here, I think what I wanted to do is like, it's like a top-down dungeon view or isometric dungeon view of something along the lines of like, for example, if I do something like this here, I don't want to be too big. So I'll use Baka Design's color thing to create this, but I'm just giving you an example. Something along the lines of this, right? Where you would see something like this. The idea is there. I mean, it's not going to be accurate, but right. Something along the lines of this. Baka says, sent you the Lua script. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember the instruction. I like how the plugin is just a script. How do I copy this actually accurately? Sorry, I'm going to have to show your thing. Oh my gosh. Is there a better way to paste this? There has to be. Copy? No. Copy text? No. I gotta... oh, I think I might actually have to download this one. I don't know where it goes to. Okay, .lua. Okay. And then a sprite here. Scripts, color maker here. Open scripts folder. All right. I'm going to copy and paste the last one, the newly downloaded one, to replace it. This one here. Replace the file and destination. I'm going to scan again. And then script color maker. Give full trust to the script. Yeah. Baka says delete the old one. What? I just replaced it. Is this not accurate? Whoa, look at all these. Very cool. It's fine. Okay. Let's see. Baka says, with that plugin, you'll find many new palettes. That's good. Void says, keep and still deviate if you want to. Strawberry Folk, is it almost ready? What's almost ready? Oh, yeah, the script, yeah. Baka says, yep, I went a bit over the top, but almost done. Henjay says, but it still is better than AI-generated graphic, which I have in my own game. You know what? If it works for you, it works for you. I can't quite get the generated image to go along with the visual direction I want. So I don't think I'll ever use it. Also, there's like a concept there. Ashala Cash says, hello. Ezra, long time no see. Hi. Hello. Long time no see. Yep. I remember you. No, I actually don't. I don't remember anything. Sorry if I don't remember you, but welcome back either way. Okay, Baka says it's fine. Pick two colors you'd like to and click get. Okay, cool. Pick two colors. Okay, so I can do, let's do my bluish gray and then my vibrant green. Okay. Color effect and modify. Ooh. I think warmer. Ooh, okay. Whoa. I would love to know how to use this in its full potential, I think. Shift style. Circular. Direct. Direct is the locked hue, I'm guessing. Whoa. That's not too bad either. A little magical. Gonna do this though. I'll grab this. Okay. Ash says, it's almost 7 months. It's perfectly normal that you don't remember. Haha. Yeah. Sorry. But it's okay. Now I'll remember you. So now click palettes. Hey, Iliad. What's up? Digital Elliot says, ooh, what is this magic? Is this built in a sprite? No, this is so Baka Design here made a Lua script for a color palette creator. So I'm testing it for them. And you know, it's a cool tool. And we're just gonna do some pixel art anyway, so we're doing this. But yeah, it's the sprite script. Okay, Baka says, so now click palettes, theory, or variation. Okay, I'll do that. So I can do palettes. How does this work though? Do I just, how do I import these are moody palettes, duotone, okay. And then the variations are these. Do I just like pop it and then use it as this? Do I just like use like this? And then like start drawing like this? So it's not like I don't use this anymore. I just use this as a palette. Is that true? Hold on. Where's my preview? Grid pixel. I closed the preview window and then I'm trying to find it again. Duplicate view? No. Show grid tile mode. Preview. There you go. Okay. Baka says right click, select foreground color. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to have to read this in a row. Baka says you can middle click on any color of any shades and add it to the custom. Oh. Huh? It's giving me console. Well, is it adding it? Hold on. Is it because I have this unlocked? Here, how about this? Go like that. You gave me the test version. Oh, hey, I see it over here. Hold on. What's going on? Oh, right click. I can add it with right click, it seems. Okay, what about the theory? Triadic. I love this. Okay, so analogous seems pretty normal here. Complementary is kind of crazy. I do like triadic. Monochrome is for the theme. Complementary for highlight. Split comp. Got square here. All right, I'll do that. Where is it? I don't even know where the script folder is. Script folder here. I'm going to open my colormaker.lua. Says delete line 1058. How do I do jump line? Can I do, is it Control L? No. Can I do line jump in VS Code? Ten 1058. Wow, this is a big file. Big script. Okay. This one, okay. Delete it. All right, we're good here. We're going to try again. Script, color maker. Going to do palettes here. I can middle click. Nice. Oh, I see. I see. It's building it as I click. Pretty cool. So it's still manual. How do I reset this? Okay. Can I reset? Okay, let me try this again. So I'm going to choose my slate blue and my green. Well, they're basically the same thing, I guess. Maybe this green. And then get color. I want to delete this. How do I delete this? Setting. These are good settings. Middle click. Ah, there it is. Okay. All right. We got no color here. So we got the color. And then we're going to go to variations here. Shades and tones and tints and nuances. I'm not really sure what nuances mean. That's very interesting. Shade 1. Ooh, very cool. Do you look at the chroma? Okay. Let's see. Boom. This. Apply. And then I'm going to get these. I wish I could sort these. Some of these overlap. This one is a little bit confusing, but I think we can work with this. Let's do, we're going to go for moody. Let's go theory here. We're going to pick up some tetratic. No, we're going to pick up complementary here. And then shade 2. That's okay. I'm going to keep that as is. Baka's like, drag. Left click and drag to sort. Yeah, no, I've been looking at it, but I'm colorblind, so it needs to sort for me. Not sure says, hey, not sure. Long time no see. Welcome, welcome. We're just testing some script on the A sprite with Baka Design Created. I kind of want a yellow here, but I don't know where the yellow would come from. I already did complementary, so I'm a little bit cautious to just pick up this bright green as a yellow replacement. There's something missing. It's almost. Might actually have to pick up all these. This is already picked up. Let's try that. I'll create with this. Let's see what this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. How do I add this into this? Baka says, and in the setting, you can save the custom palette. Oh, I see. Setting. Custom setting, save. Colors. You can create your own custom palette. Middle click on any other color will add it. Okay, yes. I want to save this. Create. No, it already created it, right? And also click P on the top. Ooh, nice. In the setting, you can save the custom palette. Setting. Is it just save setting? No. Here it is. Okay. Wait, but how do I actually save it? At the bottom, this? Oh, I see. I didn't see that. Okay, so I saved it as my palette.asc under ruins. And so now I can open it, or not that. Load palette. Yeah, I think it's very cool. I wouldn't mind doing like 256 pool without having to do it manually. It's very cool that I can select colors manually. But if it's like I don't actually know what I'm doing in terms of like color, I would love to just pull a line of pretty colors. Like just like get the whole thing and trust that it's like in theme or something like that. So with this, let's make something here. I don't know what I can make, but I'll try. I'm gonna reorg this a little bit. Huh? Okay. I gotta admit, these two feel very similar to me, so I might have to get rid of some of these. Get rid of that one. Okay. All right. Baka design is like, probably. Digital Elliot says, I don't know color theory and makes custom palettes so daunting, lol. Yeah. I do think that maybe having a little bit more like streamlined process for like really lost people would be nice by picking two colors. I mean, I did pick a really ugly two colors, very muted two colors, so that's not your fault, obviously. But so for example, let's see. The obelisk. What does a gate look like? I might have to do a little thumbnailing here a little bit. Let's say I do this. Uh-huh. It's a little too perspective. I'm going to make this non-perspective. So we'll do one of these. Horizontal. You know, Iliad, color theory is all made up anyways. It's just whatever looks good at the end of the day. It does help, but don't have to be too scared of it. So let's say I have something like this, right? And then I go, ooh, the obelisk stands. And so we'll do something along the lines of what are we doing here? 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 3 2 2 2 2 2 2 3. Oof. The rhythm is a little awkward, but I think we can make do with it. So let's say this. And then I think I do want it to have little slant here. So we'll put a slant. And then we'll put something like that. Let's see if this is something I can work with. Okay. Pretty cool. Perspective feels a little off, but I think we can work with this still. We'll see. We'll see. Baka says, well, the very streamlining color is open, a 400 and 200 project, 400 by 200 project. Choose two colors, open the script, and click generate layer. It's nice to see someone working with it for the first time. Yeah. I think, I'm kind of surprised that it's still working pretty well, though, in terms of what it looks like and all. Maybe the outside of the obelisk is not the most interesting dungeon to make. Not really sure what other details that could go in here, to tell you the truth. What could possibly go in here? Maybe this is not the thing I was looking for. It's okay, I think. Ooh, I could see shadow being brighter as an artistic choice, which will really like mess things up in terms of perspective. But let's say I do this, and I guess I could make a runic gate here. Interesting, interesting. Okay, okay, okay. Something's happening here. Okay. Baka says, I like that sandy slash desert orange. Yeah, I do like that actually. Depending on where you see it. I mean, I don't really see color as, I mean, especially because I'm colorblind, but when I see colors, I rarely see it as its hue and tone. I see it as warmer or colder than its environment. And to me, that helps me feel a little bit more in control of what I'm doing with these things. Otherwise, it gets too overwhelming, And guess what? We're going to do a little glow in here. We're going to introduce yes. I think we could actually convert this in a little bit. Sometimes I just kind of have to choose a color that's available to me. It's a high contrast situation here, so I have to be very careful. I'm gonna chunk these more. I'm gonna chunk this to be more like this, so that the invasion of the light and dark feels a little bit more detailed. We gotta be careful here as well. Like, why would the light be going into here? There's no reason for that, but, you know, it's really hard to make it look like there's something, some sort of form going on if I don't do that. I mean, I guess I could almost reflect back some sort of like, this one's going to catch more of the blue sky here. So I'm going to make it bluer. And inside this is like the true color. It's in the shadow. So I'm going to keep that in the shadow. The pale orange could highlight in the bright orange. Here. It's kind of hard to use for me. I can't really see it. Just feel like all of this needs to be definitely shaded, and only a few spots needs to be lit, because it makes no sense for those things to show. And technically this should also be in the dark region. I mean, that's more correct, I think. Then you would get like maybe something like that. Definitely need more colors to work with this, I think. You can see it a little bit. And then if I want to be extra about this, I could also do something along the lines of this. Then grab other way around. Catch. It's really harsh contrast. I might have to really... I definitely need to add more colors in here. I think I prematurely stopped it. It technically works, it's just isn't very good. I can work with this, I think. I think I definitely want to expend it about this much. I think I prematurely stopped it. It feels very limiting what I'm working with right now, which may be a good thing. Could be a good thing. I guess it just means it's high contrast. And then you would have something along the lines of like, now the question is, do I make this look more like a hyper render, or do I make it more symbolic? That's a real question. Yeah, we're definitely missing some stuff. Jeremy says, sup, dude? Hey, welcome. Not much. We're doing okay here. I do like the orange. I definitely need to expand the color palette a little bit. I'm feeling creatively lost with this right now. Because this will add custom palette button, so you directly add it to the Aspray palette. I think that would be a good idea, if you can figure that out. Jeremy says, what project is this for? This is my like art account project. So I wanted to make some prints. So I created this. So I just ordered prints for these in different sizes to see what it looks like, because I want to do a little art booth. But the theme of this like art account / like the art experience is I'm trying to make like physical product that is this type of like series of things where you get illustration, you get these like dungeon like little game, so to speak, like, I don't know, diorama, I guess, which is kind of fun. So yeah, I mean, that's the summary of it. Right now I'm testing the custom palette tool script that Baka Design created, which is interesting. I might actually, I think what I was saying was that I will definitely need to create more colors. So for example, also, okay, Baka Design, there's this one thing. For me, I can't visualize the order of the color. So I rely heavily on constructing palette this way. So for example, if I have these two main palettes, right? Let's say I have this and this as a complementary, and then we got the desaturated orange, which is kind of in between like that. And then we have this. Like all these various colors that fit in here, the transition and where they fit, to me is a little bit tough. Because I'm not as like color forward of a person. This is actually darker. So like that, right? I mean, this is even like where they fit in terms of like progression and all that is very difficult for me. So it'd be nice to be able to see in some sort of like order. I'm not really sure if that's even doable. Because like for example, this is this is kind of the exercise I do, right? And I feel like I almost should have just picked these shades first. I feel like there is a value in like there's definitely something that I missed, which is what do you call? I missed out on picking out the colors with mindfulness. Like I didn't really think through it as I was picking the color. So this is mostly user error, so you don't over-index on this. I think it's a super user error for sure. But yeah. So I don't know if I can help you with that. Cuz it's like I just picked the colors wrong, I feel. And should it be your concern or responsibility to prevent your user from choosing bad colors or in a bad order in ways that they're confused? Maybe not, because it's meant for people who already know what they're doing, and you're just simply what do you call trying to help that process to be easier. Then it's like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. um yeah, I think don't over index on whatever I'm saying. A little bit grayer here. I think it does connect like that. This one is over here. Yeah. I mean, this feels a little bit more complete, I think. So if I go new palette from Sprite, now it's like I just expended whatever. So I generated the color palette with your generator, and then I just expended it to fill the gaps, I think. And I got mostly lost because first of all, I was learning the tool. So you know what? Okay, so I was saying that it would be interesting if you put like, here's your first time usage guideline. Do this, that, and that, like a sample color picker, being like, oh, here you can choose to do this or that in the ways that worked for you when you were working with this. I think that might be helpful. I mean, honestly, even this I hate. I actually like working with this. I don't know what to do about this. I mean, this is like, I just, it really isn't your fault. Low key, I kind of like working with these like organized structure because it helps me see as someone who's like color challenged. You know? Like I know what I'm picking. Like this feels a little bit more in control. Three Font says, "Hello, what's the game?" This is a, I don't know. I feel like I need to start explaining things. I have my game that I usually work on. This is a little art project I'm doing to make a little kind of like game preview looking art pieces for prints and product for little lores and story and exploration to scratch the itch of looking at cool, mysterious dungeon while you know, feeling the satisfaction of uh, what's the word? What's the word? Satisfaction of exploring the dungeon, I guess, in some ways. You get to feel that satisfaction a little bit. Three Five says, "This is a really nice art style. Thanks. I'm a little bit hating it, honestly, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I feel a little bit lost. I feel not so confident in what I'm doing right now. But you know, it's good to have a little bit of confirmation here. We'll do a little chip here. Um, that's good. Okay, we're okay here. So we got the obelisk going in the dark. We're going to get this to relatively glow brighter. So we'll have some stuff that goes like that. It's a little too bright. It's going to look relatively bright anyways. The style of these runic lines, that like art type of art in like I think it's Japanese pottery, like the art of fixing broken things. You know what I'm talking about? Kind of like where they gold inlay cracks. That's kind of what it feels like to me. 35 said the yellow crack do look a little weird. Maybe nicer if it was darkish green. Perhaps. You know what? I'll take the advice here. Kintsugi. Kintsugi? Sugi? Is it Sugi? I'm pretty sure it's Sugi. Kintsugi. Probably. Yeah, Kintsugi. Kintsugi. Baka Design says, often made with gold lining. Yep, yeah. It took me a while to imagine the word in my head. Legendary says, what is your favorite feature you've made in your game and why? My favorite is dialogue plugin, obviously, because I think it's the most like complete one. I'm pretty proud of it, and I used a lot of the learnings and concept that I know from, you know, all. It's like it's kind of like, how should I put this? The culmination of everything I've done up to that point when I created the dialogue plugin. It was like a combination of all my past works coming into that one product. So that is my favorite thing I've created, actually. Actually, I think I could put crevices in here and think about it. Let's do that. I don't know if you've seen my dialogue plugin. That is nice. It's actually very nice. It's brighter. I'm not going to mess with this, actually. I'll leave it alone for now. I almost want to just cover the whole thing like that. Yes. Shine. Where is it going? We don't know. Beautiful. Like that better. 3 says, reminds me of clay and smooth stone blocks in Minecraft. I think that's about right, actually. But yeah. Perspective be damned, though. As of right now, you don't see, it's like the line of horizon is right here because it's going down this way and it's going up this way. So it's okay, I guess. Technically, I guess we should be able to see from the top here if I want to be consistent. I don't know. Who's counting, right? Not me. Oh, the green does look nice in the shadow, actually. Oh, thanks, 3Fod. Well, good recommendation. All right. What are we seeing? I mean, this almost looks like a... Why is there like an organic green in this sandy field? What are we seeing here? What is the meaning of this? We're just kind of discovering as we go. I often don't know what I'm doing, as you can tell. And then things just kind of rise out of nowhere. Something awoke. Ooh, good idea. I do think that there's an opportunity to... How about this? How about this? We do some sort of... Let's say we have something like this, right? Let's say we have... let's say we have something that looks like this. And then it's almost like sprouting out, right? And then maybe it'll... Hold on. I'm going to make it feel a little metallic here. Or not metallic, but man-made. So like something grayer. Let's go for something gray here, for example. And we'll make this green. And then idea is that we'll have something even darker green if we can find that. Maybe you could even go further down like that. Let's say we have some sort of like wrapping construction that's like man-made plus machinery type of situation. You know what I mean? Do you see the vision? Do you see the vision? Hopefully you do. And it's like, is this machine? Is this nature? What's happening here? Type of thing, right? I don't know about monster, but there's something going on. Something that we don't know that's going on. I think that makes sense a little bit. Baka says it looks like a desert version of the first obelisk. Uh-huh. Kind of. I mean, I don't know. I I know you guys see this as a green. I mean, part of me was like a little bit like seeing this as a green because I'm also getting red green colorblind. So desaturated orange could look very much brown, and brown could look very much like desaturated barky or desaturated green to me. So I'm struggling. But what I'm gonna do here, with going with the concept, is I think the green is coming out because of these sproutings in this desert. Perhaps. So we'll do one of these things like that. That makes sense, right? Feels like it's something. Feels like there's theme going on. Yeah. And then we can have burgeoning grass and the green that's coming out like that. Oops. Ah. Something like that. Very cool, very cool. Now these like patchy green makes sense now. And then of course I'm going to shade this in a bit, but you know, that'll all come in time. We can get the darker shades here. Like that. Slightly Nausicaa vibe, right? Slightly. If you're familiar with Nausicaa. Something like that, right? And you get this a little too much. Get one of these. Oh, I don't have a more gentle transition here. Wonder if this will be gentlest. No, it's too much. No, it's very saturated. Well, we're gonna have to work with it since it's what we got. Yeah, this is a little bit better. Feels brighter, but I might have to. Okay. I might have to choose this color to be different shade of blue here. What if I choose this instead? Getting brighter. That's what that is. And then this is slightly darker. So if I did this instead. Oops. It's a little confusing, but let's see. Hold on. Sorry, I missed the chat here. Because it looks like a desert version of the first obelisk. 3 thoughts says gives off the ancient civilization was very advanced after a nuclear fallout or something, sort of like Dr. Stone. Yeah. I love that. Maybe height map it for a little depth, like a dune, maybe. Height map? Not really sure what you mean by that over here in this context. But as soon as I understand what you mean, I'll jump on that. uh, the blue is very vibrant, so I need to be careful here of what this means. I might actually not do the deep shadow here. I'm going to go back to the gray. Yeah, I'll just do this for now. And, you know, I'll figure it out. As I do. Maybe I'll add more colors, but I'll leave it to the end before making that call. Get this right here. Void says, as I'm sleepy, good night. Have a good one, Strawberry folks. Bye, Void. Thank you. The Void calleth. Thanks for watching, everyone. Okay. Something along the line. I'm just doing silhouetting for now. I'm not obsessing over the details just quite yet. So don't worry. I know it looks kind of goofy in some points, but I think it will eventually come together or another. And then you'll get something along the lines of like, I guess you'll get something. Limited palette is definitely very much a challenge, I would to say. That's a huge transition. Might need one more of this. Yeah. I don't want one more color transition for this one in particular. That one. So I'll do something like that. Something like that, I think. Over here. Maybe need to kind of do a little bit shallower right there. Smooth this out a little bit. Baka says, see ya. Yeah, bye. Osama says, man, you skilled. Love your style. Thanks. Appreciate it. I wish I could be as... I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to say much because People, those who know that there's a lot of things wrong with this. I'm gonna have to resolve that eventually, but you know, as long as there are people who enjoy it, I shouldn't be the ruiner of those fun, you know? There's something awkward about this in particular, I would have to say. Because this one is not technically going into the ground quite as dramatically I need it to. So I'm going to have to restructure this a little bit. Like that. There you go. A little bit better. And have this greenery sprawl out. Hey, yo, look at that. That looks about right. I think that looks a little bit better. Of course, do one of these. We're saying this is the angle here. So something along the lines of this. Yeah. I mean, technically you don't really have to do the shadow yet at this stage, but it gives me some idea of like the contrast and like the how it connects to the ground for me. It helps, so I like to do them. So a little bit more patchy stuff going on like that. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Might actually go into this. Kind of want the darker color here. Not really sure how to resolve this. I mean, we have very limited number of colors, so we're going to have to do what we can with these. Okay. Some structures. I have to kind of dig in for this one particular. I actually have to dig in more to make it look like it's from the coming up more into the sky. Yeah, I'm going to keep that out of set. Okay. Someone says, any advice how to choose color palette? That's one, use Spaka Design's color palette picker. I think, honestly, the way I do it has always been just choosing major key colors and going with the kind of general design principles of doing like either complementary or all those things. Because as the angle of this picture, it's looking more like game scene than the first one. Yeah, this is meant to be more of a game scene. Digital says crawl through low spec. Yeah, that's actually a good advice too. Lowspec.com. So first one, so the idea was this. Okay, everyone, look. I know it's looking a little sandy right now, which is unfortunate. But the idea was that we have illustration, print, release, storyline. Kind of like how gameplay, you know, you see the story of like when you enter a location, you see this like location illustration and then people have little dialogue. So the art piece is, boop, little bit of lore, little bit of mystery. Let's get into it. A game mode, right? So like you get into this like more technical version of it. You get to experience it in like different perspective and what it looks like. So it looks more like a game. And this is like the level. So the art is basically yeah, like you see this story, this, some danger, some secrets. You get to see different chests, different secrets that are hidden in here. And then maybe there are some like lore text, item text. Maybe there's stuff like I might even make some like boxes like this and be like, hey, boop, boop, boop. And then it has like this little items. I don't know. And then let's say this is an item. And then, you know, it'll say something like, then, you know, it's like, and then it goes, something like that. It's kind of like a theme art piece. And then, you know, maybe I'll lower this whole thing down. And then over here on top, there will be like little thing like this, where you see stuff like obelisk instead of obelisk or whatever. And then like maybe it wouldn't be this, but more so like that. And you'll have like something like that. If that makes sense. If the vision makes sense. You know, it's like, ooh, what game is that? Like that kind of like, you know, people make like Final Fantasy posters of a game or whatever. Perspective is a little off, but yeah, that's the idea. I do want to make something interesting here, so I kind of want to do a little hill as well. So like, let's say I do this like that. It's like weird combination of like 2D and 3D, almost look low poly if I do something like that, right? So I say I do something like this. Let's say. You can kind of see where I'm going with this, I think. So for example, if I go, so I have this sandy orange right now. And if I go to the more saturated orange for darker color, oh, it needs to be darker. Let's say I do this, for example. And then say I do something like that, you know, then you can kind of see the vision a little bit, maybe. Like, bring this out. It's a little too saturated, but you know, I'll have to adjust the color here, but oh yeah, definitely need to adjust it quite a bit. But as you see, like this color palette is also not that great. If you see it in a certain way, it's great, but it's also not that great. It depends on how it's used, how it's compositioned. So, you know, like something like that. You know, obviously you have something like that. I'm going to have to choose different color for these, but whatever. Just getting the idea across. You know, let's say I have something like that, right? Maybe even subsection this out. We could do an entirely different. What the heck? I mean, could technically do that. Very much just eyed instead of like being super calculated, but let's say something like that. And you can see the vision. But yeah, Usama, color picking digital principle, or not digital, design principles or color theory, as in like color harmony, generator, theme generator, maybe. Adobe has this one. It's free, I think. Like they have these concepts like analogous means on the same side, just hue shifting. Monochromatic is single color different value. Triad, a 3 split where you can choose the intensity of the key color, and it's like an even 3 split. Complementary, opposite. These are known to be accents, right? So understanding that these things exist, first of all, is a good guideline. And then you have stuff like this. If you go to low spec and go to palette, well, it doesn't have to be, but like you can see these things that people have created, and they give reasons to why they created this. So that's one thing. Another rule is obviously the whole hue shifting rule. So if you look at my color wheel right here, pay attention to it. So if you have this main color, when you shift over to light, as things get more exposed, right? Think about this. Color is a pure information. As you overexpose that color, it loses its hue, meaning it goes closer and closer to desaturated white. So that means as it gets brighter, you can see the saturation drops. So if the sun is yellow, or the light source is yellow, it's warmer than orange. So it'll get warmer in color, yet it'll lose its saturation as it goes towards it. When it gets darker, depending on where your midtone is, as you get darker, sometimes you see more color information because there's less light to like expose it, so you see its natural color. So it goes saturated, and then as it goes deeper into the shadow, you lose information because there's not enough information to see the color itself. So you shift cooler, and then you lose saturation. So that's, you know, typically how these like this shade value is created for a lot of times. So you're changing the hue while adjusting the saturation, and visually adjusting it so that like the lightness is this scale. I mean, that's the basics of basic color theory behind choosing a color, at least. I'm gonna actually add one more color for this one. Let's say I do this one. There's definitely an opportunity like that. Something like that, I guess. And then you'll see that. I don't know if that makes sense. But you see what it's trying to do. Yeah. Usama says thanks. Yeah, no problem. Pro9 says I'm making a backroom game. Any recommendations on making the best 3D models? I have no experience in modeling, also horrible lag. Ooh, sorry. Sorry for the lag. Can't really help you with that one though. Honestly, using assets. The I think if you have no experience, I think first of all, getting used to using different type of assets that is already created is a good idea. And then on the side, 3D art or 2D art doesn't matter. Any kind of like new experience that you're learning, I think it's probably important to get that initial experience as like a fun thing. If you want to make your own art, you kind of need to enjoy it first of all. If you don't really enjoy it in the first place, then like I feel like you need to decide that that's not something you want to do. You know? Does that make sense? I think so. But yeah. Um, uh, does this feel better? I feel like this is what it should be. Um, in a weird way, this kind of looks low poly, doesn't it? That wasn't the original intention, but adding these really make the or hills made it feel low poly suddenly. Definitely, definitely did something here. I don't know if I'm gonna actually keep it. I mean, I'm just doing this right now as a sake of like just having fun with the art, but and one more tool. I'm gonna use a jumble here for that sandy feel. There you go. Mm, kind of deserty. Then I guess do that. I'll put a little shade in the grass so that the base of the shade has something to work with. So I'll do at the bottom of all these, the bottom side. I'll look at it over here as kind of like an observation to check the vibe. A little high contrast, but high contrast means the sunlight is more intense, I think. At least that's how I interpret it in my eyes. Pumpkin says, "Hi, what are you drawing?" Well, first of all, Purple9 says, "Thanks, yeah, no problem." I'm just drawing a little art piece. Right now, this is a little project that I started for my little art account. I mean, I do game development normally. Right now, I've been in this like kind of the bender of art bender, where I'm like, I want to make some art to sell, a little interesting art project that's kind of like adjacent to game development. So for this project, it's meant to be little pixel art prints that feels like it gives the feeling of, wow, I want to play this game, or like, oh, I want to learn more about this world. Mainly for people who are used to seeing games or playing RPG games to fall in love with type of sitch. So as you can notice, right now, this particular piece looks very much like it's a scene from a game. And that's kind of the goal. So we started with this illustration. Hey, obelisk, and something is awaking. The rune is awaking. Rune is waking up. Oh gosh. Oh, it's been too long. I might have to get off here. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Sorry. But yeah, no, I was just saying that we have this rune awaking, nature retaking type of storyline, and I'm just kind of adding. This is my second illustration of the series to get that um, vision of the next part, which is okay. Does it look exciting to explore? Pumpkin says, "Oh, it looks nice, man. You were using Godot because I heard you said scene. Oh yeah. I do have. I usually use Godot for my game development. Right now, this is a sprite, um, specifically for pixel art purposes. Question is, do I like that shadow or not? Not really sure. I'm not sold on it just quite yet. But I do think that there needs to be more interesting fauna and vegetation. I think we'll do that. Make more little grassy tallness, and then we'll work with that. Yeah, look at that. Hydrogen 18 says, question, if you do game dev full time now, do you work for a studio or yourself? Right now, I'm a solo dev. My credibility comes from the fact that I worked as an engineer in big tech. And unfortunately, I am soon to return. Well, I am. I have been determined to return. It's not unfortunate. I'm excited. But I guess in terms of industry game development, the most experience I had was kind of something adjacent. I worked on a voice experience, choose your adventure type of situation. So I've been in the production process of game development in general. That's my experience for the most part. I think in the shadow, I actually need to hold on. I might have to get something in between these two. Just slightly darker, just more saturated. Yeah. Then I'll cut this out like so. Maybe even darker. Okay. Feels good. Might jumble this a little bit. There you go. Okay. Definitely need more details. I'm gonna add more. But I think this is a good stopping point today. Otherwise, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm gonna raid out here. We'll see how the stream schedule changes in the future, but here we are. Hypnotic. We'll go to Hypnotic. Baka says, good night. Yeah, thanks. I'll see you around. Thanks for sharing the script. I'll see you guys later. Monday, more specifically, I guess. That's my stream schedule. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So yeah. All right. Bye. Okay, as usual, the raid lands, I'll end YouTube. There you are.